Today we're going to zero a Primary Arms GLX 2 magnification prism, and we're going to put it on my 30-30. It's got the 7.62 by 39 BDC reticle. First things first, of course, is making sure we torque everything down to the right torque specs. Now guys, I didn't use Loctite because I'm actually going to try to reduce the length of the spacer in the future, and I'll be getting back into this scope at some point. Another big important thing when you're putting an optic on a rifle is to make sure you push it as far forward on the rail as you can before you torque it down. If you think about the recoil of a rifle, it recoils rearward. So if you put that optic on and it's to the rear of where it's going to fit on the rail, okay, it's going to move forward on you over time, and you don't want that. We pace can it off 25 yards from our target to our shooting table, and then move the table so the muzzle would be exactly at 25 yards.
Going from the barrel, and that's good. Yep, so from the barrel.
I am cheap, dudes, so I just take a Sharpie and draw a dot on a paper plate. Okay, do a little Vanna White dance for me or something. I know some of you are thinking right now that there's no safe backdrop, but rest assured, this is miles of private land beyond that target. So nothing's in danger of getting whacked. We're gonna see if we can make this happen with 7 rounds. These are 150 grain core locked, Remington core locked factory loads. Chicks. Here, go over there. Chickies. That's like a third of the chicken army.
There you go. You get like 2 minutes.
Yeah, 2 minutes. Yay. Target's in the shade right now, and just really hard to see with the sun in our faces. So we're gonna try and get it done when there's a cloud passing overhead. We're gonna just go ahead because really you just need to get a shot on the paper, and we'll see how off this thing is. We're at 25 yards. If I have to, I'll move in closer and take a closer shot. You just need to really get that first bullet on the paper. All right, let's go check it out. We definitely got on the paper. That's awesome if that happens the first time. If it doesn't, and what you want to do is you want to approach the target. You want to make sure that the backdrop is not going to deflect any bullets back at you. This is just a big rounded juniper. They're going to blow right through this baby and probably end up in the grass 100 yards away. So if you have to, you want to move closer until you can get your first shot on the paper, and then you can adjust from there. We're shooting from exactly 25 yards. It's my pace count, but my pace counts are pretty damn good. So this being a quarter MOA adjustment scope, what that means is every click is going to adjust my shot a quarter inch at 100 yards. Well, because we're at 25 yards, I need to make it 4 clicks to move it a quarter inch at this distance. So we're going to go ahead and adjust this, and I'm going to move us down probably about an inch, maybe a little bit further, and move us over to the left. And our goal, because this 2-power prism scope is designed to be zeroed at 50 yards and we're at 25, I want to get right beneath this black dot here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this round, we're going to move it out to 50 yards, put a new target on it, and we're going to check to zero and see where we're at. Dudes, I know that normally the way this gets done is either 3-round groups or 5-round groups. But 30-30 is expensive these days. As a matter of fact, everything is. So I prefer to do it this way. And when I feel like I've gotten to the point where my optic is finally adjusted to where I want it to be, I'm going to put an extra few rounds down range and make sure it's good to go. So 1/2 inch at this distance is going to be 8 clicks. Eight, and they're nice and audible, not super loud, but I could hear them. And so to adjust ourselves down, we're going to go down 1.25 inches at this distance. That's going to be 20 clicks. Okay, there we go. This time we're going to wait till we get some clouds. I could barely see that freaking dot, man. Flies are out.
Oh yeah, I had one in my drink.
We got a little bit of clouds. We're going to do this thing. See if we can, let's see where we're at now, where we're hitting. All right, as you guys can see there, that adjustment we made was pretty damn close. We're a hair to the left, and you know, that could just be me, right? And what we're gonna go ahead and do is adjust us up probably about, because I could see this better this time around. We're gonna adjust us up 1/2 inch and right 1/8 of an inch. So at 25 yards, up 1/2 inch is gonna be 8 clicks up, and to the right 1/8 of an inch is gonna be 2 clicks right. Let's do it. I should have made that dot a little bigger. It's hard to see. Okay, dude, so it's shooting to the right like this. I'm pretty sure that was me. It's really hard to see this dot, the size of it, and I used roughly a 1/2 inch dot for a reason, because when I come down here, it's a little easier for me to decide how I want to adjust things. But I think we're gonna stop right there, you know, and probably put a bigger dot on the other plate and get it out to 50 yards and see where we're at. All right, let's get our other plate. Make that dot bigger. I increased the size of the dot to 1 inch so I can see it a little better. And my wife's gonna go put it on the round over there. I also moved my shooting position. I put a truck over here. I'm gonna put the bag of seed on top. And this way we'll actually have some sun on that target, and I'll actually be able to see the dot better. Here we go, 50 yards. I can see it a little better. Good enough to turn off my my illumination. Now we want to be right dead nuts here, this range. Let's do it. Oh, I was to the right. I was to the right. Let's check it real quick. I just checked the target. I did pull it to the right, so I'm not going to make any adjustments that way. But I'm hitting about 2 inches high. So we're going to go ahead and bring it down 2 inches low. Now remember, we're 50 yards. So a quarter MOA click is only going to move it 1/8 of an inch, right? Because we're at half the distance of 100 yards. So to move it 2 inches lower, we need to make, that would be 8 clicks at 100 yards. So we're going to do 16 clicks down.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, let's see where we're at now. And see, me and my hammer safety, right? Let's use the normal one for everybody at home. That felt pretty good. Way low on that second shot. That could have been me, but I don't know, guys. So that top right one, that's the first one that I pulled to the right. Way low on the second. But we're going to go ahead and put another one on it and see what we get. The other thing, dudes, is that, you know what? A quarter MOA adjustment isn't always a quarter MOA adjustment. And I want to say that's what I read in the book a while ago, but maybe these are half MOA. It seemed like when I first made my initial adjustments, they were bigger than I expected them to be. So let's hit it again and we'll see where we're at. Only got 2 rounds left. I don't think we're doing this to 7. Well, guys, I gotta say I was a little worried it was me, but as you can see, it's not me. So these may very well be half MOA, and that's how we're gonna play it, because we had double the adjustments. You can see my first shot, we knew it was high, and it looks like I'm also a hair left. But if these are half MOAs and we're at 50 yards, that means that every click is going to move us a quarter inch, right? So we're going to go ahead and make some adjustments. We're going to go up 2 inches and we're going to go right a half an inch. Let's do it. Let's see where we're at now. All right, that's what we got, dudes. Okay, so we came up a little bit and maybe a little too far to the right, but it's a little hard to tell shooting one shot at a time. I'm sure you guys realize that. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna adjust it 4 up, 1 left. We've used all 7 of our rounds, but we're just gonna make those adjustments and we're gonna call it. Because with this particular Prism optic, guys, my plan is to do some reloading for this rifle and to shoot 160 grain FTX Hornady flex tips. And it's gonna mimic 7.62 by 39, pretty damn good at all distances. And it's gonna have a much better ballistic coefficient than these, you know, flat nose bullets. So that's the plan. So I've got to check it again anyways after I do the reloading. So for today, we're just about good. A little bit more adjustment and we're done shooting. I did double check the scope specs and they are quarter MOA adjustments. That's it, dudes. We're going to wrap it up. You know, pretty no-brainer, but a lot of people, they don't know this kind of information. I'm sure there's plenty of you that do, and this is the same way you zero an optic. I had to zero it anyways, so it's like I might as well do a video and just show my way of getting it done. The 2 biggest things when it comes to getting this done and getting it done in the least number of shots possible is 1, getting that first round on the paper, right? Some of these optics out of the box are going to be so off, really, really, really off. And you might find yourself having to shoot at a damn sheet of plywood from freaking 25 yards to see where the bullet's hitting. So you can make just a
ridiculous freaking number of adjustments before you even get close. But the other thing you really need to pay attention to is the fundamentals of marksmanship. Practice that shit, dudes. And you know what? Practice your dry firing. It's gonna make a difference for you. And if you can't be consistent putting rounds on a target, it's gonna be a lot more difficult to get an optic zeroed, You're gonna burn through a lot more ammunition. So if that's where you find yourself, is burning through a shit ton of ammunition to get a freaking optic zeroed, spend more time dry firing. You can do it at home. You don't have to go to the range. For me out here, it's easy to just get out with a 10-22 if I want and shoot pretty cheap, But I know a lot of people don't live in these kind of places. So practice your dry firing at home if you need to. Fundamentals of marksmanship. Get that first round on the paper. Adjust from there. All right, guys, that's it. I hope you liked it. Like, share, subscribe, comments down below. What do you think? Do you got any tricks that you use that I didn't show in the video? Let's hear about it, dudes, okay? And check out my Patreon. There's a link in the description. Come help support the channel. Right now I'm filming this on a camera that my patrons helped me purchase. And you'll see that this video, compared to the others, I had a lot more options regarding B-roll and camera angles. So it's definitely going to make a difference for the channel if any of you guys want to get on board and help out with that. And I got a lot more content on there from my patrons. See y'all in the next one.